Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jaya Radha Govinda, Jaya Radha, Jaya Radha Govinda, Jaya Radha, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Madhuri. Thank you so much for the nice kirtan. Hare Krishna, everybody. And today, so far we've covered 1 to 9 shlokas, right? Until now, the first class. So we'll try and see how many slokas we'll cover today. So today I've gone live. So we will have the recording. Pran Chaitanya Prabhu is busy. So he has actually asked me to take the class. So I'll try my best to see what I can. So before that, let me start off with prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. Om Tatsat. Om Ajnanatimrandasya Jnananjalachalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Shrapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Bhupagadamaya Dadati Swapadatikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopeshu Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishapanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Mancha Kalpadarubhyasya कृपा सिंधुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमः ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमद् भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा. Come on, everybody. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, everybody. So the first, this chapter, ninth chapter, heading. Now I will hear from you all. So what is the heading and what are we actually reading? What are we doing right?
Krishna is the source of all incarnation.
Very nice. But particularly first canto, ninth chapter is what? What are we actually doing?
Passing away of Bhishma Deva.
Haribol, very nice. So passing away of Bhishma Dev. So we saw the first 4 verses actually is talking about assembly actually at Bhishma Dev's deathbed, right? So thankfully I managed to get this picture correctly. That is why I was taking a couple of minutes to have this done. So Bhishma Dev exactly at his deathbed, what happens is what we are going to see. And one peculiarity which we already read, I think most of it we read, is between 5 and 11. We have seen and we will see a bit of where Bhishma Deva continues to welcome all of them, right? So 1 to 4, we'll see Bhishma Dev in his deathbed, and 5 to 11, of which till 9 Prabhu has already done, where Bhishma Dev welcomes all. Now the main agenda, what is the main agenda of the meeting over there? So what is the main agenda? Why are they meeting? Come on, everybody. Very casual.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
The Bhishma Deva has been one of the bastion of the Kuru dynasty, has extensive knowledge, and so these knowledge must be transferred to the new rulers who are going to be Pandavas.
Very nice.
So instruction of Bhishma Deva to Yudhishthir Maharaj and Pandavas.
Very nice. So since he is a legend, you know, instructions are given to Bhishma Deva, by Bhishma Deva to the Pandavas, especially Yudhishthira, as the head of king for the Dharma, right? Next, any other reason?
Greatest devotee of Krishna. He is the great devotee of Krishna.
Very nice. He's a very great devotee of Krishna. Very nice point. So Krishna is highlighting.
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Mataji, because Bhishma Deva is a great devotee of Krishna, and Krishna wants to give all the glories to Bhishma Deva. In the last chapter also we've seen that, to Yudhishthira Maharaj, internally he is convincing, he is not able to be convinced by Krishna. So that's what Krishna wanted him not to be convinced by him. And he wants to give all the glories to Bhishma Deva. And another reason is he wants to give darshan to Bhishma Deva. He's so merciful that he wants to give darshan to Bhishma Deva before he passes up.
Very nice. Who wants to give darshan to Bhishma Deva?
Krishna.
So Krishna alone can go, no? Why is he bringing Pandavas?
Yeah, because he wants, even like Pandavas are very dear to Bhishma Deva. So
Right.
he wants to take them also, and then he wants to show, because Pandavas have suffered a lot since childhood, and Bhishma Deva was always worried for them. He had a concern for them, and then at this time when they have actually won the war, and then they are with all the royalties, and Krishna wanted to take them to show Bhishma Deva that they are all well settled, and so Bhishma Deva is very happy to while he is passing away.
So normally, when we are going to see somebody in the dying stage, right, either in the deathbed or in the hospital, what kind of dress will you wear?
Normally very plain, like some white clothes or something very plain, normal ones. Yeah.
More lesser than the normal ones, right?
Yeah.
What we wear to work, we will not wear. We'll wear something
Right.
like what I'm wearing, like really dull,
Correct.
right? But why are they wearing something so bright? Are they wearing the drill dress, or how do they look
No,
in the picture?
they went in the royal dress, so to show their opulence. Now they have got the opulence. Yeah.
Is that right? Now I want to ask everybody, come on, all of you all answer. Is it right to go and see someone in the deathbed in such nice, luxurious dress? Thank you so much, Shama Mataji, switching on the video. Wherever possible, please keep the videos on. So is it right, appropriate to wear such a nice, lovely sari or a heavy royal dress and see the person who's going to die?
Mataji, Krishna wanted Bhishma to see this Yudhishthira and kings in a royal dress, and so that Bhishma will be happy to see that Yudhishthira is taking the reign of the Hastinapur.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Hare Krishna. So, what is the bottom line is Bhishma is very, very lovable grandfather of these children, and literally he was parenting them. It seems there was a stage when Arjuna was so confused that he used to call him dad at one stage when he was small. So that was the kind of love and affection he gave, because they never had parents. I mean, not parents, father. And Pandu was dead. So therefore, Bhishma gave extra love to them. And obviously, very sweet children, 5 nice, lovely children, as against 100 demonic children, you will naturally like the child, right, children? So that was one more reason. So in spite of all this, why did Bhishma not support them in the war? Why did he fight against them?
On by Duryodhana's, he was living with Duryodhana, so that is why.
Yeah.
He was under care of Duryodhana, you can say.
So
Maintenance, for maintenance.
No,
Mataji, he was committed because of his Bhishma Pratigya that he will serve the king of Kuru dynasty. So
correct.
since Duryodhana and Dhritarashtra was the king of the Kuru dynasty, and he was bound by his duty. That's why he could not support the Pandavas.
So we get a feeling that like how one for maintenance, which is maintained, and more so like what you told, he had taken a vow. Some part of our heart always gets us fixed, right? In spite of that, how could Bhishma do this, right? So we will actually get the answer for this because I felt it, right? So I'm just sharing verbatim whatever happens. So when there is a little bit of trauma here and there telling that, okay, whatever said and done, why would he do? Can't he break his vow? Is vow so important than dharma? Am I the only one to feel that, or do I have company here in the class? Have they ever felt like why?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah.
Yes,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna
I'm
Mataji.
glad all women are in favor. Men, any
Yes, very much, Mataji.
Yes, very much. In fact, Bhishma Deva had been a very loving devotee of Lord Krishna.
Ah.
And he was given a role that, in spite of being such a great devotee, if one remains on the side of adharma, they never win, they lose. So this is something that Lord Krishna wanted the world to see. So whatever you are, ultimately you got to be on the side of dharma to win.
Very nice. I think purport number 16 or 17 is what Prabhu is actually told, which we are going to read today. Very nicely, what he is telling is, even though Bhishma was very, very perfect, right? He was one of the smartest person. He can never overtake virtue. Where there is dharma is where victory will be there. And this is a point which Krishna wanted to bring. Therefore, Bhishma was doing this, right? So we'll start reading from shloka number 9. Whoever wants to read can have their hands raised. We finished 9. Sorry, we'll have to start from shloka 10. I'll do the screen sharing. Yes, please shoot. Can you see the screen? Please have your hand raised. It makes it easier. Or you can unmute and start. Yes, Gita Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Krishnancha tattvavajna.
Krishna, all of us. Hare Krishna.
Krishnam cha tattvavajna.
Asinam Jagad Ishwaram.
Asinam jagat ishwaram.
Hridistham Pujyam Sa.
Hridistam pujayam asa.
Mayayopata Vigraham.
Maya pata vigraham.
Yes, Mataji, go ahead, please. Hare Krishna.
Translation. Okay. Krishnam, unto Lord Sri Krishna, cha also, tat of him, Prabhavajna, the knower of the glories, Bhishma, Asinam, sitting, Jagat Ishwaram, the Lord of the universe, Hridistham, situated in the heart, Pujyam Asa, worshipped, Mayaya by internal potency, Upatta manifested, Vigraham found. Translation: Lord Sri Krishna is situated in everyone's heart, yet he manifests his transcendental form by his internal potency. This very Lord was sitting before Bhishma Deva, and since Bhishma Deva knew of his glories, he worshipped him duly. Purport also?
Yeah, Mataji, you can go ahead on the purpose. It's very small purport. Hare Krishna.
The Lord's omnipotency is displayed by his simultaneous presence in every place. He is present always in his eternal abode, Goloka Vrindavana. And still he is present in everyone's heart and even within every invisible atom. When he manifests his eternal transcendental form in the material world, he does so by his internal potency, the external potency or the material energy has nothing to do with his eternal form. All these truths were known to Sri Bhishma Deva, who worshipped him accordingly. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So very clearly what he is telling is, though Krishna is there in the heart as Paramatma, right? This form. So there is one more. So the form of the Lord is considered transcendental, because that is why we say that, it is Janma Karma Chame Divyam Evam Yevid. Okay, before that, form of the Lord, before we get into the form of the Lord transcendental, tell me which is one more thing which is transcendental, which is there currently for us. Right now, Krishna is not present, but there is one more thing which is few more things rather, very transcendental. What is that? Which is very transcendental. So Krishna is telling his form, okay, Janma Karma Chame Divyam Evam Yoveti Tattvataha Tattva Deham Punarjanmam Neti Mam Eti Sojuna. Agreed. So if we know his birth and death, we will never have birth again. That it is transcendental. Krishna was born, point taken. Today I can't see Krishna. I'm sure most of us don't see Krishna right here. So which is transcendental for us? So we are stuck, right? Yeah, you can unmute and talk. Hare Krishna.
Holy name. The name, Mataji.
Yeah, very
Form of
nice.
Lord.
One is holy name. Other than that, 2 years, we
The
understand.
form of Lord.
Archa Vigraha.
Archa Vigraha. Very, very nice. So Archa Vigraha. So 2 things. The holy name and the form of the Lord is non-different. That is why today we see the Lord through Shravanam. Right? We hear, and the holy name is so pure because our eyes has anarthas. Now you will tell our ears are also having anarthas. That is also true. But the holy name is so spiritual that it transfers through the ear and enters the heart, and Krishna manifests, right? So this is what we talk about in Nectar of Indocean. Ata Shri Krishna Namadi Nabrave Granam Indriye Sevan Muge Jivaham Swayam Eva Spurad Adaha Spurad Adaha. So basically it comes automatically, it raises. How Ata Shri Krishna Namadi, Krishna's name, if you hear, right? So all our senses are under control, and how do we do? With the intention to serve. With that intention, if we do, which is what we ask, right? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Means what? Oh, Rani, please give me chance to serve. Which we've been telling so many years, and Namnishta Prabhu has finally given us many opportunities which we don't take, but particularly an exclusive opportunity for us in August. Why? We can actually serve the Lord, right? So that's one biggest point which Krishna has given us, right? So this is point 1. Now the next point which we are talking about is, now Bhishma is sitting there right before Krishna, and I'm not sitting, lying down. Now we also notice Krishna is always present in Goloka Vrindavan, right? He is here also. How is there? Can you think of any shloka which actually talks about he is here also, there also? Don't have to give me shloka number. You can just give me the meaning. Is Krishna only here? That means he's run out of Goloka and he's sitting next to Bhishma. Is he there in Goloka?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes.
I think Aham Sarvasva Prabhava Matta Sarva Pravartate. I think that is, yeah.
Okay, that is one. Other than that.
And Mataji, this one, Ishopanishad Mantra 5 also.
Yeah, mantra, yeah, that's right. Tade jati tanne jati tad dure tad vanshike tadantarasya sarvasya tadu sarvasya bhayatah. So he's outside also, inside also, right? So,
Yes.
so very beautifully, Krishna is having both the potencies, and he is able to serve both, right? So we'll go to the next sloka. Is this pace okay? You want me to go slower, faster? Is this okay or any change?
Okay, okay, Mataji.
Okay, Mataji.
This is okay, Mataji.
It's fine, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Hare Krishna. Who's next? Why nobody is raising hand? Forget raising hand. Someone unmute and read. Ah, okay. Yes, Mataji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Panduputranubasinam.
Panduputranupasinan.
Prashraya prema sangatan.
Prashraya prema sangatan.
Apya chashtanuragasray.
Abhyachashtanuragashray.
Antibhudena chakshusha.
Andibhutena chakshusha.
Continue.
Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O son of Maharaja Pandu, we are sitting silently nearby, overtaken with affection of their dying grandfather. Seeing this, Bhishmadeva congratulated them with feeling. There were tears of ecstasy in his eyes, for he was overwhelmed by love and affection.
Mataji, purport also we can read.
Mataji?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Purport. When Maharaja Pandu died, his sons were all small children, and naturally they were brought up under the affection of elderly members of the royal family, specifically by Bhishma Deva. Later on, when the Pandavas were grown up, they were cheated by cunning Duryodhana and company. And Bhishma Deva, although he knew that the Pandavas were innocent and were unnecessarily put into trouble, could not take the side of the Pandavas of political reasons. At the last stage of his life, when Bhishma Deva saw his most exalted grandsons, headed by Maharaja Yudhishthira, sitting very gently at his side, the great warrior grandfather could not check his loving tears, which were automatically flowing from his eyes. He remembered the great tribulations suffered by the most pious grandson. Certainly, he was the most satisfied man because of Yudhishthira's being enthroned in place of Duryodhana, and thus he began to congratulate them. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Now, if we go back to the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, thank you, Mataji, very well read. So all of you also coming back to the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, if you remember, what happened is the first time, we had all these conch shells blowing, right? And Bhishma Deva also blew his conch shell very, very strongly. Thereby, he was indirectly trying to support Duryodhan and also giving him a lot of hint telling that we are not going to take a success time, right? Though verbally he had told many times prior to the war, particularly in Bhagavad Gita also, it shows out very clearly that we
Hare Krishna.
Am I the only one who has lost the voice?
Yeah,
I think we all
Radhika
lost.
Mataji, network issue.
Disconnected.
Okay. Right. So Mataji is lost. Hare Krishna, everyone. I think we have lost her. So I'm making a couple of more co-hosts. I'm the only co-host now, and if I lose a connection, we all will be lost. Jagadanand Prabhuji, you are the co-host. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Can you please
Can
share
you
the
hear
screen,
me?
Prabhuji?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Are you sharing the screen, Prabhuji, or shall we take up from database?
Mataji, I'm not sharing the screen.
We'll open the share database.
Okay. Who else can I make the co-host?
You can make me Prabhuji if you wish.
Sorry, Mataji. Can you tell me your name?
Yeah, I'm Lalita Narayan.
All
Lalita
right.
Vinodini Devi Das.
All right.
Just raise my hand 1 minute.
Yeah. All right. You are a co-host as well.
Yeah, you want me to share the screen, Prabhuji?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, yes. Thank you.
Shyama Gopika Mataji, can I make you co-host as well? So in case of sudden death, at least you can intervene.
Okay, Prabhu. I have not done this before, so let me see.
It's very easy. You virtually you are a queen now.
Okay.
You can do whatever you like, and you will be all
Are we on
allowed.
the 9th or 10th, Prabhuji?
10.
Is it seen? Hare Krishna.
Yes,
Yes,
we can see your,
Mataji, we can see.
Reading can continue.
we can see your screen. That's fine. Question is whether Radhika Mataji is rejoined or not.
Mataji, it's 11th Mataji. Pandu Putranu Vasinan Prashraya Prema Sangam.
We can keep reading, no? Krishna.
Yes, certainly.
Who's checking? 11th? Hare Krishna already read, no? The shloka.
Yeah. Okay.
Who had read the slokas can read synonyms and translation too.
Can I read, Mataji? Can I read?
Yeah, please start from beginning only, Mataji.
Okay. Pandu Putranupasinan Prasha.
We'll repeat, Mataji.
Okay, Mataji. Pandu Putranupasinan.
Pandu Putranupasinan.
Prashraya Prema Sangatan.
Prashraya Prema Sangatan.
Abhyachashtanuraga Shrair.
Abhyachashtanuraga
Shrair.
Andhibhutena Chakshusha. Pandu, the late father of Maharaj Yudhishthira and his brothers, Putran, the sons of Upasinan, sitting silently nearby, Prashraya, being overtaken, Prema, in feelings of love, Sanghatan, having gathered, Abhyachashta, congratulated, Anuraga, feelingly, Ashraihi, by tears of ecstasy, Andhibhutena, overwhelmed, Chakshusha, with his eyes. Translation: by his divine grace, Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada ki jai, the sons of Maharaj Pandu were sitting silently nearby, overtaken with affection for their dying grandfather. Seeing this, Bhishma Deva congratulated them with feeling. There were tears of ecstasy in his eyes, for he was overwhelmed by love and affection.
Mataji, as we read, you can give some meanings also, as you have understood.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah,
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. So sorry, I think my net went down, and thank you so much for nice reading. Hare Krishna. So
Mataji, I'll make you a host again.
No, Prabhu, I think I'll be the co-host. That will be easier. So you all can continue.
Okay, I'll make you a co-host. Okay.
Sure, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. So now what are we so coming back, yes, now it's clear, my voice. Yeah. So now what we did till 11, right, till shloka 11, we have been just 2 months. Yeah, so till 11 we noticed Bhishma is welcoming all. From now I think we are doing the 12th verse, right? So the 12th, is that right? So we are doing how Bhishma
11th verse.
We were reading
11th
the
verse.
section
11,
of 11.
yeah. Okay, so till 11 we've been doing how Bhishma actually started welcoming. Right now, so initially we saw last week he had welcomed a lot of them, and right now we notice that he started welcoming the Pandavas also, Krishna also, and all of them. And right now from 12 to 17, which we will be reading, we will see how Bhishma Dev is going to pacify. We also notice that the main purpose with which Bhishma was in the bed and why Yudhishthira was brought, though internal reason was different, that Krishna had made an attempt for Bhishma Deva to focus on this, but there was also a very clear external reason, which was like Yudhishthira was put in bewilderment, right? So can you give me a name or an example of somebody else who was put in bewilderment? Who else was put into the similar situation? Just like how today in Srimad Bhagavatam, Yudhishthira was put into bewilderment, right? He was not satisfied with what happened. He started feeling bad that he had killed a lot of them and all of that. So now who
Arjuna.
else? Haribol, very nice. Yes, Ravi. Thank you so much. So similar incident we noticed where in Bhagavad Gita, where Arjuna was also put into a very similar bewilderment, right? So he was also confused. He was also put into the same situation. So the one thing which we should understand is, and this is an analogy which will come a little later, what they are talking about is just like how the mother, there is a concept, right? So a newly married daughter-in-law comes into the house. You can't chastise the daughter-in-law directly. So what happens is the mother-in-law will actually chastise, or as if she's correcting the, you notice the people, someone who's like your daughter in the house, she will tell, like, for example, if you have to pour water first and then serve the food, she won't be telling the daughter-in-law directly. She will be telling the daughter, telling that, you know, you have to do this. Even though the daughter knows it, right? That is taught to the daughter, not then, but it was already taught to the daughter earlier, right? The mother would have taught the daughter earlier, but to communicate to the daughter-in-law, mother tries to play a game, right? She's more comfortable to tell the daughter, so the daughter-in-law will learn. So the same concept. So they know very clearly that it is very important to talk to the daughter, right? Why? Because only when the daughter is told, the daughter-in-law will hear and correct. But if you directly tell the daughter-in-law, it would become very, very difficult. So this is a point which we have to understand and learn. So is that clear? Hare Krishna. Is my voice
Yes,
clear?
Mataji, yes.
Yeah, thank you so much. So very clearly, the topic is again, like very clearly the focus is same thing he's doing. So neither Arjuna was bewildered nor Yudhishthira was bewildered because they are, devotees of Lord. So we have seen this, right? Jnana Deepena Bhashita. So basically what he's telling, Dadadi Buddhi Yogam Tam. Krishna is actually going to light from inside. So if he is going to light from inside for us, the Chatur Shloka, the most important 2 shlokas, then won't he do that for his devotees? They are eternal devotees and Yudhishthira knew everything in and out. But why is the whole thing played is not for them, but it is for us to understand, right? For us to correct. Basically, people like us are foolish. Most of us, I am definitely foolish. So we'll not understand. Only when we hear all this, we will get to know which is right, which is wrong and all that, and we will correct ourselves. That was the reason for the entire book. So let's now dive into the most important chapter, verses 12 to 17, where the external purpose of teaching us is getting fulfilled. Yeah, please go ahead and read one. 12. Hare Krishna.
May I read? Hare Krishna.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna. Aho kashtam aho anyayam.
Aho kashtam aho anyayam.
Yadyuyam dharmanandanaha.
Yadyuyam dharmanandanaha.
Jivitum naharta klishtam.
Jivitam narhata klishtam.
Vipradharmachyutashrayah.
Vipradharmachyutashrayah.
Aho, kashtam, what terrible sufferings. Aho, anyayam, what terrible injustice. Yet, because yuyam, all of you were good souls, Dharmanandanaha, sons of religion personified. Jivitum, to remain alive. Na, never. Arhata, deserve. Klishtam, suffering. Vipra, brahmanas. Dharma, piti. Achyuta, God. Ashrayaha, being protected by. Translation means divine grace. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Bhishmadeva said, oh, what terrible sufferings and what terrible injustices you good souls suffer for being the sons of religion personified. You did not deserve to remain alive under those tribulations. Yet you were protected by the Brahmanas, God, and religion. Should I continue, Radhika Mataji?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Perfect. By divine grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Maharaja Yudhishthira was disturbed due to the great massacre in the battle of Kurukshetra. Bhishmadeva could understand this, and therefore he spoke first of the terrible sufferings of Maharaja Yudhishthira. He was put into difficulty by injustice only, and the battle of Kurukshetra was fought just to counteract this injustice. Therefore, he should not regret the great massacre. He wanted to point out particularly that they were always protected by the Brahmanas, the Lord, and the religious principles. As long as they were protected by these three important items, there was no cause of disappointment. Thus, Bhishmadeva encouraged Maharaja Yudhishthira to dissipate his despondency. As long as a person is fully in cooperation with the wishes of the Lord, guided by the bona fide Brahmanas and Vaishnavas and strictly following religious principles, one has no cause for despondency. However, trying the circumstances of life, Bhishmadeva, as one of the authorities in the line, wanted to impress this point upon the Pandavas. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So very clearly what happens is, see, everybody, Pandavas, especially Yudhishthira, was following everything to the T, right? He was the Dharmaraj, he was the son of Dharma. Everything about him was perfect. In spite of that, they had lots of problems. Normally what they say, when you are following the path of Dharma, you will not have any problem. And most of the time, we also have that feeling, right? Oh, I have become a devotee, I should not have any problem. But the point here is not that we will not have a problem, but Krishna will take us out of any problems. That's the point which they are talking. So here, anybody who follows Dharma, so which means that they've always followed Dharma, religion, followed the Brahmana. Why Brahmana? Because Brahmana will teach the Dharmic way. So they were always following all the Brahmanas over there, right? Whoever was talking. And Vaishnava. So they were always doing proper seva to the Vaishnava, and the Lord was with them. In spite of that, they were put through a lot of problems, which they don't deserve to. Why they don't deserve to is normally what we say, all the problems come as a purpose because you've done any karma in the past or something you've done wrong and that comes back to us, right? But in Pandava's case, this is not the truth, right? Because Pandavas were genuine. They were very calm. They were very good. They were very virtuous. There was nothing we could pinpoint. Imagine Arjuna was always an eternal, not only Arjuna, all of them were eternal companion. And Arjuna had come in the previous Yuga also as what? When did he come with Krishna and as what did Arjuna come? Does anyone know? Krishna and Arjuna came as what earlier?
Nara and Narayana.
Ram and Lakshman.
Nara and Narayana.
Nara Narayana. Ram and Lakshman is incarnation. And Arjuna was not Lakshman. Actually, Anantashesh was Lakshman. So this is Nara Narayana. So Nara Narayana, they are still there in Bhadrika Ashram. Nara Narayana. Narayana is Krishna and Nara, obviously, we know is Arjuna. So he comes there. So if you see, there is a story which continues from Karna, and most of you all will know. So Karna, who's said as the son, and many of us keep telling Karna is a great soul. So the so-called great soul was a Rakshasa, and he had thousand arms, right? And Nara and Narayana used to do so much meditation, and each of them would go and kill one. And then like that he would do. So that is what he's Kavasha. So he was called Sahasra Kavasha. That was his name, which means that he had so many Kavashas, right? So, and one after the other we removed. And finally, when there was one Kavasha, he ran and took refuge of the sun god. He is only Karna who comes back. And they are still there as Nara Narayana Rishis. Where are they? They are actually in the Bhadrika Ashram. So this is one. Now coming back to the next story. Now we are in, so this is now currently Krishna's time is Dwapara Yuga. And in Kali Yuga, Krishna and Arjuna appears as what? Krishna appears as what in Kali Yuga? That we know. In Kali Yuga, what did Krishna come as?
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Hari bol, yeah, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Arjuna came as?
Ramananda Rai.
Nityananda Rai is Balram. Sorry, Ramananda Rai you said, right? What did you say?
Ramananda Rai.
Sorry. Okay. Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. So Ramananda Rai, right? So the combination is always eternally there. So can you imagine someone who's an eternal servitor? Eternal servitor, can you even think of they going through problems? And such was the glory of Krishna and glory of Pandava and glory of Arjuna in particular. So Yudhishthira was also fascinated. He was also spoken so great. And that was the question when I got locked out. And I'll come back to the question. So, and can we even imagine that they went through this kind of trauma, which is like even beyond imagination? And now we are going to read. Why? Because of two factors. One factor, what he will console. Now he's going to console. Why is this happening and what? And that we are going to see in the next sloka or the slokas which are going to come. So who's going to read next? Hare Krishna. You can unmute and read.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare
Samsite tirtate Pandav.
Samstithe atirthe Pandav.
Prahabala Prajavaduh.
Pritha Bala Prajavaduh.
Yusmat Krite Bahun Kleshan.
Yusmat Krite Bahun Kleshan.
Prapta Tokavati Muhu.
Prapta Tokavati Muhu.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. As far as my daughter-in-law Kunti is concerned, upon the great General Pandu's death, she became a widow with many children, and therefore she suffered greatly. And when you were grown up, she suffered a great deal also because of your actions. Purport. The sufferings of Kunti Devi are doubly lamented. She suffered greatly because of early widowhood and to get her minor children brought up in the royal family. And when her children were grown up, she continued to suffer because of her son's actions. So her sufferings continued. This means that she was destined to suffer by providence, and this one has to tolerate without being disturbed. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So if you see Kunti, she had constant suffering, right? When she was a small child, we know the Karna story continues, and she got from, do you remember from whom did she get the vara for begetting children through any devata? She got it, right? So does anyone remember through whom?
Surya Devata.
No, Surya Devata, she got Karna, but she got the, benediction that she can think of any Devata and get a child. So she got it through a sage. Which sannyasi gave her the benediction?
Durvasha Muni.
Haribol, very nice. Durvasha Muni. So Durvasha Muni gives a benediction because she takes care of him so well that whomever she wants and she thinks of, and they will come and honor her with a child. Now this is a very tricky situation. Oh, my net is all right, so I'm going to go back there. So with that situation, what is happening is she's like super excited at the time, right? And then she's super testing also. Like we also are curious, right? Most of the time we also do this. We'll try testing initial days. Maybe because we're a little scared, we don't. But then most of the time we are also curious to do a testing. So we try all these things. And same way Kunti went and requested and thought of Surya Dev, and she had Karna. Now Karna was born. Why was he called? Does anyone know why he was called Karna?
He was born with earrings.
That is what even I thought. But that is one reason. Besides that. So he was born from the years of Kunti. I read this in Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna. So can you hear me? Hare Krishna.
Do you have some other sound?
Yeah, you can hear me. Yes. So he was born from the, let me just go back to my laptop. So he was born from the years of Kunti. Now you will ask, how can she be born out of years of Kunti?
I think we have lost Mataji again. Hare
We can
Krishna.
continue reading. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Yes, we have lost. No, we haven't lost her.
Continue reading till she comes back and explains.
Yeah. Who is reading, Mataji?
Vishwakamat Mataji, want to read?
Yes, Mataji, can I read? Okay. Text 14. Sarvam kala kritam manye.
Sarvam
Kalakrutam
Kalakrutam
Bhavatam cha yad apriyam.
Bhavatam Yatriyam
Sapalo yad vashe loko.
Sapalo Yatriyam
Vayor iva ghanavalihi. Sarvam, all this, kala kritam, done by inevitable time, manye, I think, bhavatam cha, for you also, yat, whatever, apriyam, detestable, sa palaha, with the rulers, yat vase, under the control of that time, lokaha, everyone in every planet, vayoho, the wind carries, Eva as Ghana Avalihi, a line of clouds. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada Ki Jai. In my opinion, this is all due to inevitable time, under whose control everyone in every planet is carried, just as the clouds are carried by the wind. Purport, there is control by time all over the space within the universe, as there is control by time all over the planets. All the big gigantic planets, including the sun, are being controlled by the force of air, as the clouds are carried by the force of air. Similarly, the inevitable kala or time controls even the action of the air and other elements. Everything, therefore, is controlled by the supreme kala, a forceful representative of the Lord within the material world. Thus, Yudhishthira should not be sorry for the inconceivable action of time. Everyone has to bear the actions and reactions of time as long as one is within the conditions of the material world. Yudhishthira should not think that he had committed sins in his previous birth and is suffering the consequence. Even the most pious has to suffer the condition of material nature. But a pious man is faithful to the Lord, for he is guided by the bona fide Brahmana and Vaishnava following the religious principles. These three guiding principles should be the aim of life. One should not be disturbed by the tricks of eternal time. Even the great controller of the universe, Brahmaji, is also under the control of that time. Therefore, one should not grudge being thus controlled by time, despite being a true follower of religious principles. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Radhika Mataji has come back.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. I
Yes,
think
Mataji.
very
Go
funny
ahead.
things are happening. I got linked to my, I think, default Zoom for me is the Tamil thing. So I tried to switch device and it took me to a Tamil and they were having meeting and I just started off with this class and I realized, oh my God, I'm in a different classroom. Sorry about that. So back. So they are coming back to what, like the inevitable time. So time, Kala, right? We have read in Bhagavad Gita also, Kala Stime, right? So Krishna is Kala. Another name for Krishna is also Kala, and Krishna controls time, which is why always we'll notice PKD Mataji, Prema Kishori Mataji always will tell time can expand, right? 24 hours is the time, but this particular time actually can expand if we do, and most of us would have seen that. Have you seen it? Earlier, we used to do the same work, right? And we were very packed. Now we are having so much time. We do chanting also. We do prasad also, we honor prasad also, we pray Lord also, and still we have time for all that. We take class also, we listen to classes also. Have you experienced this?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. So that is the speciality of time. So as time is Krishna, this is there. So it expands. But however, it cannot be controlled by anyone other than Krishna. So anybody, entire world, anybody is there. Why they are giving the, the analogy of a cloud is when there is breeze, automatically the cloud will come. Nobody can control it, right? Sometimes it covers the sun. Sometimes it's moving away from the sun. We don't have a decision to make on that. Likewise, the kala or the time is something which is non-controllable. We read the same thing in the 8th chapter, right? Eternal time. Eternal time is not in the control of anyone. And even if we try to control, it is just not possible and it is not worth it, right? So what they say, orders of Krishna is also inconceivable, which is why it is said Achinta Beda Abeda. That means it is not understood by us. So if it is not understood by us, simultaneously same and different, if we are not able to understand, then how will we understand? It can be only understood. Even Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam can only be understood through discipline succession. So this is one thing which we have to follow. And all again he is telling us, you don't have to worry. End of the day, as long as you are with Krishna, following the orders of Krishna, following the Brahmana and Vaishnava and the religious principles, you don't have to worry at all. So you can take care. Even Brahmaji has a particular lifetime. What is the life in human years for Brahma? Bhagavad Gita 4th chapter. How many years does Brahma? Is Brahma eternal?
Sahasra Yuga Paryantram.
It is
No,
400
Mataji.
No.
100 Brahma years.
billion.
100 Brahma years, that I know. What is equivalent to hours?
311
Hare Krishna Mataji, 311 trillion years.
Very nice. Hari bol. Thank you so much. And thanks, Shama, and thanks, Adi. So 311.04 trillion years, right? So that's the time of Brahma. It looks long, but the fact is, anyway, he also has to go through Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi. Many of them have a doubt. Will they also go through Jara and Vyadi? Now, coming back to, Dattatraya, so he won't be there, right? So we will not have people, medicinal devatas in Devalok if there were no sickness. But the difference is that they do not fall sick to the extent we fall sick. That's the only difference. Now, just one more thing. Just what was the greatest, Yudhishthira was compared to somebody else in chapter 8. Which Devata was he compared to? Which are?
Indra Devata.
Indradeva.
Very nice. To Indradev. While Indradev is definitely where he did 100 Ashmavedi Yagnas and he was very opulent. There is no one, Indradev is called the Lord of Yagna also, right? Yagna Purusha. Though I indirectly tell Mini Purusha because our Yagna Purusha for us is Krishna. Yad Karoshi Yad Ashnasi, right? So we know that. So, however, he is like, the Mini Purusha, but still his opulence is very, very high, Indradev. But then why is, and also Yudhishthira is also compared to one more Devata. Who is that? It comes in this chapter.
Kuvera.
Haribol, very nice. Kuvera. So imagine two strong stalwarts, right? One is Indradev, another one is Kuvera. One the most powerful, next is the most rich. You have two, Shri and Shruti. So both are taken care. Why? Because the fame of the devotee is so much that it even overbeats or goes over and above that. Now, I'm going to ask you a simple question before we go to the 15th chapter. Krishna's Sudarshan Chakra, can anybody else other than Krishna use the Sudarshan Chakra? Yes, no?
Agnidev.
Sorry?
Agnidev.
Chaitanya
Avantidev.
Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
No, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself. So we will not yeah, agreed. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but otherwise.
In some story, like in net I found, he
So
was
I wanted to
present.
know who is that person who is allowed to use Sudarshan Chakra of Krishna. One is all Vishnu
Ambarish
Tattva.
Maharaj. Ambarish
No,
Maharaj.
Ambarish Maharaja, Sudarshan Chakra came to rescue. See, what I'm trying to tell you is, maybe I'll rephrase my question. Krishna can use the Sudarshan Chakra on anybody, yes or no?
Yes.
Likewise, there is one more person who can use the Sudarshan Chakra of Krishna. There's no duplicate. There is no two Sudarshan. There's only one Sudarshan Chakra. So that chakra can be used by one more person. Who's that person?
No, Mataji. Balram Mataji.
That's correct. One more person is Balram. One more person is there. It's actually two. I thought I should not confuse you all, so I said one. Yes, Balram is one and one more. Balram is perfect answer. Next.
Is it Agnidev?
No. Agnidev gave the Sudarshan Chakra, but he cannot, what do I say? He cannot revoke, or what do you call that? He cannot use the Sudarshan Chakra. In fact, Agnidev gifted it is also like how we do prasad, right? We eat prasadam. That prasadam is from Krishna, but we give it to Krishna and we eat. It's more like that, but it's not Agnidev.
Vishnu Mataji.
Vishnu and all can use. So all Vishnu Tattvas will use. Besides that. So that's why I removed Balram's name. But yes, your answer is right. Balram can use it. Other than that, Chaitanya is correct. Vishnu Tattvas, all Vishnu Tattvas can use.
Garuda. Wild guess. Garuda. Wild guess, huh?
Did you say Karuna or Varuna?
Garuda.
No, Garuda cannot access Vishnu Chakra. He will never use also. Because Garuda is a very humble servant. Because Garuda was always in the seva mood.
Mataji, your suspense is killing. Kindly give us the answer.
Any guesses? Or should I leave the question to be answered next week for you all to do the homework?
Lord Shiva.
How's that idea? So we'll move to text 15.
Lord Shiva.
Lord, not Lord Shiva. I was expecting Lord Shiva's name first. No.
Lord Shiva.
Arjuna, Mataji.
Huh?
Arjuna.
Who said
Lord
that?
Shiva.
Who said that? Who said Arjuna? Which Prabhu?
Narsimadas.
Narsimha Prabhu. I saw Venkata Narsimha. Hari Bol. Very nice. Arjuna. It comes in Srimad Bhagavatam. Arjuna is the only, in fact, it was Jiva Tattva. The moment I tell Jiva Tattva, I thought you all will catch. So I thought if none of you all answered, I'll give that clue. But very nice. Prabhu, was it a guess or you knew it? Hare Krishna. Venkata Prabhu. Okay, so
Previously, I read somewhere.
Arjuna is the only person who could access the Sudarshan Chakra besides Vishnu Tattva. Vishnu Tattvas can access. Other than that, Arjuna is the only Jiva Tattva who was given. So you can imagine the exalted position of Arjuna. So he will never be short of knowledge. He will never be short of strength. But in spite of that, why he was put into all this tribulation was Kala, is because Krishna wanted to teach us a lesson, which is why we are reading all this. Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji, who next? Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji, go ahead, unmute and read.
Yatra dharma suto raja.
Yatra
dharmo suto raja.
Rapanir brikodarah.
Gadapanir brikodarah.
Krishno Sri Gandivam Chapam.
Krishno Sri Gandivam Chapam.
Krishnastato vipat.
Krishnastato vipat.
Synonyms: Yatra, where there is, Dharma Sutta, the son of Dharmaraja, Raja, the king, Gadapanihi, with his mighty club in hand, Vrikodara, Bhima, Krishna, Arjuna, Astri, carrier of the weapon, Gandiva, Chapam, bow, Suhrit, well-wisher, Krishna, Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead, Tataha, thereof, Vipat, reverse. Translation is Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Oh, how wonderful is the influence of inevitable time. It is irreversible. Otherwise, how can there be reverse in the presence of King Yudhishthira, the son of demigod, controlling religion? Bhima, the great fighter with a club, the great bowman, Arjuna with his mighty weapon Gandiva, and above all, the Lord, the direct well-wisher of the Pandavas. Shall I continue?
Hare Krishna. Yeah, Mataji, please. How big is this? Yeah, we can continue. Yeah, please go ahead.
Purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. As far as the material or spiritual resources were required, there was no scarcity in the case of Pandavas. Materially, they were well equipped because two great warriors, namely Bhima and Arjuna, were there. Spiritually, the king himself was the symbol of religion. And above all of them, the personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, was personally concerned with their affairs as the well-wisher. And yet there were so many reverses on the side of Pandavas. Despite the power of pious acts, the power of personalities, the power of expert management, and the power of weapons under the direct supervision of Lord Krishna, the Pandavas suffered so many practical reverses, which can only be explained as due to the influence of Kala, that is inevitable time. Kala is identical with the Lord himself, and therefore the influence of Kala indicates the inexplicable wish of the Lord himself. There's nothing to be lamented when the matter is beyond the control of any human being. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mama. Thank you so much. You have such a nice way in which you tell shloka. Hare Krishna, thank you. Now they are talking about all again power stalwarts. We are talking about Yudhishthira Maharaj, right? So all of them are sons of demigod. Now Bhishma, can anyone tell me why Bhishma was called Ridko Dara?
Bhima, I meant to say, right?
Sorry, Bhima. I always mix. I'm so sorry. Thanks for correcting me. Bhima.
He is a voracious eater.
Exactly. So he was a very voracious eater. And, in fact, there was a lesson which Arjuna learned from Bhima. And I'm going to just take a quick detour. So what happens is normally the mother, right, will feed all the children and then only they'll eat, right? But in Bhima's case alone, you know what she used to do? That is Kunti Maharani. She used to take a portion and keep for children and her and then only serve Bhima. Otherwise, food will not be there. So there was one day when, obviously, you know, those days they used to have lights, right? No electricity and all that. And definitely no UPS or generator. So what happened one day when they were all standing or sitting together, whatever, for food, there was a moment when there was quick breeze, right? And they had told, like, we will take, and Bhima was all ready. Okay, you all take. There was such a quick breeze that the breeze blew off all the lights for a second. And obviously, they took a few seconds to light the lamp. And then what happened is they saw the food got empty. Right? Bhima had finished entire food. The complete quantity of food was gone. Okay. And so had it been us, what we would do? And Arjuna runs and goes to Dronacharya. Now, just imagine if it was Radhika, you know, what do you think? Okay, Arjuna goes and asks something to Drona. If anyone knows the answer, don't tell. But can anyone tell me, guess what is the question which Arjuna asks Drona? And he's upset about something. What is he upset about? Is my question clear? Sorry, I'm like very story here. All food is eaten by Bhima. Now Arjuna runs to Dronacharya and asks this question. He asks a particular question. You know, he's upset. So he's asking. So what is he asking? He's asking something. He's asking Drona something. So what does he ask?
He must have asked that he cannot see things in dark. While Bhima could see the things in dark.
Very nice. So that is one question. Though honestly, Bhima could not see things in dark, but Arjuna could. But you're close to it. If it was me, I would have asked, he ate of everything, give me a plate of food. Yes or no? Or am I the only one who will go and ask, give me food? So what he asks is, he is going and asking, telling that, you know, the light went for a fraction of a second. And now Prabhu also said, you know, he can see in dark. But actually, Arjuna at least trained himself to see in dark. But Bhima could not see in dark also. Neither is he like super skilled, because Arjuna is skilled. Bhima is not skilled. So he's asked Dronacharya, how is it my brother in that darkness could spot the food and eat and finish everything? Do you understand the question? He is asking Dronacharya, we are all there. Moment of a second, the light goes. What we would do ideally, we'll be staying still in the place, which is what all of them did. Or barely we will scrape through and try and find light. Or we will hold somebody's hand. But you see, Bhima has gone, ventured, had the food and burped everything. So how is it he was able to do, in spite of the fact that he could not, the food was not in the plate, it was in the big vessel, and how could he make it so fast? And Dronacharya says, Tatra Lavyam. So if you are focused and if you are desperate about something and you manifest that you will definitely achieve. Now, good or bad is a different story, and I'm not getting into that. So that was the motive for Arjuna. So he says that if you constantly focus on something and you hit on that. So Bhima, though was not skilled, he was such a voracious eater and his focus was all time here. And we are going to have the Bhishma, sorry, I keep telling Bhishma again, sorry, Bhima. Forgive me. Bhima will be yelling at me now. Bhima is such an voracious eater. He's focused on eating that he forgets everything. There is no current, nothing. He's even forgotten that the brothers and mother is not eaten and he attacks the food. So this is a learning which Arjuna takes and implements for him in his fighting. So this was one of the lessons Arjuna learned from the brother. So why am I bringing this here? Which is, you will be telling Mataji, it's like totally off context. Why I'm bringing this here is normally just think of the difference between us and Arjuna. We would have gone and complained, right? So small child, he's like probably 6 years, 7 years old. He would go and complain, telling my brother ate all the food, and I would probably be doing all the time that, right? And we still continue at our age to complain. But Arjuna is able to get the concept and he is able to think at a very intellectual level, implement his concept into his area of interest, right? He has taken the concept that Bhima ate food. How is it I am not able to do things not for eating, but for things like, Dhanu. So that is where you see Arjuna's strength. Every minus point, instead of bitching, he converts that into a plus point for him. Are we in sync? Do you get what I'm trying to tell? Or is it very heavy?
It's clear, Mataji.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's very.
Yeah, thank you. This is
I will be extra smart in everything.
wolf bellied, right? I also heard it means with someone like a wolf can eat a lot. So that was the kind of appetite which Bhima had, and that was the strength which he had also. So Yudhishthira was powerful in terms of dharma. So he was very intellectual. Bhima was very powerful in terms of his strength, and Arjuna was very powerful in terms of his skill. So all three, and he also had Gandiva bow, right? So, and of all he had, whom did they have? Bumper offer. Whom did Pandavas have over and all this?
Krishna.
Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So Krishna was there. So there was absolutely infallible situation. Neither were they infallible, nor were, neither were they fallible, nor was Krishna fallible. So everybody were so perfect, very pious. Such people still are taking a beating is because of the inevitable time, which is neither irreversible, nor can anybody alter that. So that is what which is said. Yeah, we can go to the next sloka. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Again, I'm telling it is not within the control of human being, which is what the last line says. It does not say Krishna cannot. Krishna is Sudarshan Chakra and he can expand, right? So that's the point. Yes, Shloka 16. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Nahi asya kahichid rajan.
Nahyasya kahichit rajan.
Puman veda viditsitam.
Puman veda viditsitam.
Yad vijijnasaya yukta.
Yad vijijnasya yukta.
Mohyanti kavayopihi.
Muhyanti kavayo apihi.
Synonyms. Na, never. He, certainly. Asya, his. Karichit, whatsoever. Rajan, O king. Puman, anyone. Veda, knows. Viditsitam, plan. Yat which vijijnasaya. With exhaustive injuries.
Inquiries.
With exhaustive inquiries. Yuktaha, being engaged. Muhyanti, bewildered. Kavaya, great philosophers. Api, even. He, certainly. Translation by His Divine Grace Sri Prabhupada, Sri Prabhupada ki Jai. O king, no one can know the plan of the Lord, Sri Krishna. Even though great philosophers inquire exhaustively, they are bewildered. Purport. The bewilderment of Maharaja Yudhishthira over his past sinful acts and the resultant sufferings, etc., is completely negated by the great authority Bhishma, one of the 12 authorized persons. Bhishma wanted to impress upon Maharaja Yudhishthira that since time immemorial, no one, including such demigods as Shiva and Brahma, could ascertain the real plan of the Lord. So, what can we understand about it? It is useless also to inquire about it. Even the exhaustive philosophical enquiries of sages cannot ascertain the plan of the Lord. The best policy is simply to abide by the orders of the Lord without argument. The sufferings of the Pandavas were never due to their past deeds. the Lord had to execute the plan of establishing the kingdom of virtue, and therefore his own devotees suffered temporarily in order to establish the conquest of virtue. Bhishmadeva was certainly satisfied by seeing the triumph of virtue, and he was glad to see King Yudhishthira on the throne. Although he himself fought against him, even a great fighter like Bhishma could not win the battle of Kurukshetra because the Lord wanted to show that vice cannot conquer virtue, regardless of who tries to execute it. Bhishmadeva was a great devotee of the Lord, but he chose to fight against the Pandavas by the will of the Lord because the Lord wanted to show that a fighter like Bhishma cannot win on the wrong side. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So very clearly, vice cannot conquer virtue. Very beautiful point, right? And Bhishma, you know, is very, very powerful person. And even Shiva and Brahma cannot understand the plans of Krishna. That is the power of Krishna. So what is happening is Bhishma is so powerful. The only reason he was failing is because he was on the side of Yudhishthira. Now, bringing back to the point, I think our Prema Prakash Haridas Prabhu had mentioned earlier. Why is it Bhishma was fighting while we have externally many reasons, right? He had taken a vow, you know, he was materially taken care by Duryodhan. All of that is true. But internally, he had to do that because that was the will of the Lord. And Krishna wanted him to play the role so that he wanted to prove a point. Such an elevated person like Bhishma also does not have a second choice. He will not win over Kala. He will not be able to win over virtue because the Pandavas were so virtuous that always final success will be on the side of Pandavas. Now, can someone tell me who are the 12, right? There is the second line. It talks about 12 great people. Who are the 12 they are talking about?
12 Mahajanas.
12 Mahajanas.
Yeah. So who are they?
So
Prahlad Maharaj. One of them is
correct. Vishwadev, Prahlad.
Yamraj.
Four Kumaras. Four Kumaras.
Brahma, Shiva, Narada,
Yeah.
Four Kumaras, Kapila
Oh, yeah.
Dev,
Correct.
Manu,
Correct.
Janak Maharaj.
Bhishma told already. Yeah, okay.
Janak Maharaj.
Janak Maharaj, one more.
Yes. Yeah.
Bali Maharaj.
Bali Maharaj.
Bali, okay, Bali was told. No, Bali was not told. Okay, Bali. So I had 9 now. One more.
Yama.
It made 12.
So Yama was told.
Shukamuni.
Haribol, very nice. Sukamuni. So these are the things. So the shloka is like this. Swayambhu Narada Shambhu Kumaro Kapilo Manuhu Prahalado Janako Bhishmo Balir Vaya Shakir Vayam. So these are the 12 Mahajans, which is said in Bhagavatam. So very clearly, when you are talking about 12 such powerful people, such a person who's like one, imagine compared with Lord Shiva, such a virtuous person, such a wise person is still not able to win over is because Pandavas not only had Krishna on their side, but they also had Vaishnavas, they had Brahmanas, and they had Dharma on their side. So that is the point which Krishna wanted to bring it up, right? So that's the thing. And we will do, one more shloka, 17th shloka. Hare Krishna. This is probably not for the day, but this is one set, right? Bhishma, how he is pacifying Pandavas, the 17th shloka, 12 to 17. 17 is the last in this batch. Yeah, go ahead, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
May I take?
Yeah, please.
Tasmadidam Daivatantram.
Tasmadidam Daivatantram.
Vyavasya Bharatarshava.
Vyavasya Bharatarshava.
Tasyanu Anatha.
Tasyanu Vihito Natha.
Natapahi Praja Prabho.
Natapahi Praja Prabho.
Tasma, therefore, idam, this Daivatantram, enchantment of providence only, Vyavasasya, ascertaining, Bharata Rishabha, O best among the descendants of Bharata, Tasya, by him, Anuviti, Anuvihitaha as desired, Anataha helpless, Nata, oh master, Pahi, just take care of, Prajaha of the subjects, Prabhu, oh Lord. Translation by Ziven Krishna Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Oh, best among the descendants of Bharata, that is Yudhishthira, I maintain therefore that all this is within the plan of the Lord. Accepting the inconceivable plan of the Lord, you must follow it. You are now the appointed administrative head, and my Lord, you should now take care of these subjects who are now rendered helpless. Purport by Jivan Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The popular saying is that a housewife teaches the daughter-in-law by teaching the daughter. Similarly, that the Lord teaches the world by teaching the devotees. The devotee does not have to learn anything new from the Lord because the Lord teaches the sincere devotee always from within. Whenever, therefore, a show is made to teach a devotee, as in the case of the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, it is for the teaching the less intelligent men. A devotee's duty, therefore, is to ungrudgingly accept revelations from the Lord as a benediction. The Pandavas were advised by Bhishma Deva to accept the responsibility of the administration without hesitation. The poor subjects were without protection due to the battle of Kurukshetra, and they were awaiting the assumption of power of Maharaja Yudhishthira. A pure devotee of the Lord accepts tribulations as favors from the Lord. Since the Lord is absolute, there is no mundane difference between the two. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, very beautiful. So now what they're telling is the pure devotee obviously does not have any problem in accepting, right? That is why temporarily we read in the previous shloka that Krishna had to give trouble, or rather they were troubled temporarily because they wanted to be a part of Krishna's plan. Now I want to ask one thing, and before, as they say, Krishna is in the absolute plane, right? So he will accept anything because for him everything is same, which is what our Shishtastakam also he is telling, right? Whatever you do, Krishna, you are going to do. I don't want anybody else to do. So I want you to give. Whether you want to hug me, that's what Chaitanya says, right? In Shishtastakam last book, or you push me off, I want it from you, right? So that is the point which he's talking about. Ashishtlava padarasam pinastuvam adarshava marmatam karotu va yata tata vigata tulampato mat prananatastu sahevana parah. So he's telling, you want to hug me, you hug me, you want to throw me, you throw me. But I don't want, it. So that's a kind of a mood which they have. Now I'm going to ask one thing. So is Krishna partial? Yes, no?
Krishna is
He's
never
partial to his devotees.
So partial with devotees, beautiful answer. Yes. So Lalita he's partial with devotees. Okay. So that is why Saya Veryam Maya Tedya Yoga Prokta Praratanaha Bhakto Sime Saka Cheti Rahasyam Etaduttamam, which is why he is accepted Arjuna. He is telling Rahasyam. Agreed. Bhishma, is he a devotee or not?
Yes.
So then, correct, na? So he should be partial to Bhishma also. No, is he not only partial to Arjuna? See, it's like a triangle. We have
He is gracing them by being with them. Lord Krishna is gracing them by being with them.
Correct. So he is being with them. But then if you see the actual story which started off, which is going to, like Krishna takes the chakra, right? The wheel of the chariot, and he goes after Bhishma because he wants to protect Arjuna. He's so crazy of Arjuna, which is fine. He's protecting the devotee. But he is charging against his own another devotee. No, it's not Rakshasa. I can understand if it's Kamsa. Okay, Kamsa was an atheist. So it's fine. We can even understand everybody, like all of them, Chandura, all of them were Kamsa's people. You take Hiranyakashipu, agreed, Hiranyaksha, Shishupal, all accepted. But Bhishma is the devotee.
He's favoring him, Mataji.
Exactly. He's favoring whom?
At the same time, like Krishna was protecting Arjuna and also fulfilling the wish of Bhishma Dev. Bhishma Dev is in that rasa, Virya rasa, Krishna. So he's giving him opportunity so that in Krishna's wounded form, he wanted to see Krishna in that form. So,
correct. So what is happening? That's a very beautiful answer. Virya rasa, it's fine. But why should see? So he is willing to fight with Bhishma.
Because Bhishma also wanted him. Bhishma wanted him to fight against him.
Correct.
He wants to please Bhishma also. That's why he has broken his own promise and
Thank you, Lalita Mataji. Correct. So Bhishma is fighting is fine. That is, but what happens is when he takes the chakra and runs, it seems he goes in so much anger that his outfit, right, what they wear, what do you call that, on the top, that also falls off, right? And he's running at that kind of a speed. And he's approaching Bhishma. and he's got spots of blood all over, so much of dust, and Krishna is the only person who's beauty in dirty, right? He's so dirty with all the mud, with sweat, with blood, and he's looking so handsome and so beautiful. He's charging in the wheel, and not just to protect Arjuna, as you said, not only because that is already Veerya Rasa, they're already fighting face to face, but also to tell that Bhishma had taken a vow that either I will kill the Pandava or I'll make Krishna, right? And he had taken that vow because Bhishma knows for sure that Krishna will not give up, his Pandavas. And he also wanted to prove a point, not to prove his point, right? Many times we feel Bhishma is trying to show off that he wants to prove a point and he is one. No, he wants to prove to the world that Krishna is Bhakta Vatsala, and losing his own vow. He will save his two devotees. How? Devotee Arjuna by physically attacking Bhishma, and the vow of Bhishma also he protected by losing his own vow, right? So he was willing to give up his moral, vow which he had taken just to take care of the two devotees. I have never been successful, and I'm sure many of you all will have a problem in handling two people in life. Yes or no? Two people, if we have to handle, even whether it's two children, two cousins, two friends, might as well prefer to run away. Have you all experienced this, or am I the only moron here in the class?
Many times.
Definitely.
Yes,
Yeah?
Mataji.
Just imagine, can you imagine Krishna handling two people in the battlefield? I mean, for Krishna, this is nothing. But then it's very difficult task. Two very staunch devotees. You try and make both win. So what I'm trying to tell is the power of Krishna, right? Can you see the opulence of Krishna is so high? He's the only one who can make a deal where it's win-win for both. Though we may claim we are capable of such things, but it will be compromised. But Krishna has not compromised on anyone but himself, right? So that is the beauty of Krishna. So he is partial, is not between the two devotees. He is partial between himself and the devotee. He is putting himself, subjecting himself to pain, subjecting himself to dust, subjecting himself to everything, but he is making his devotee win, right? So are the devotees. There's a competition going on. And there is a third angle of competition. Now, who are the other two more people? Okay, who are the three people totally who have physically held Krishna? It's not possible to hold Krishna, right? Who are the three people who held and won? Who tied Krishna, physically held Krishna? Who are they?
Yashoda Maya.
Yashoda Maya, tied, that we know. Next.
Radharani.
Radharani is not tied. She never held him.
It was, yeah. Radharani also tied. That's why he's called Radha Damodar.
Oh, no, that Damodar Leela, okay, that is different. So Yashoda Mai tied to help Yashoda Mai, Radharani gave her satin ribbon.
No, there is another, there is another pastime also which I heard from Guru Maharaj, our Guru Maharaj. So that one in Radharani also ties Krishna.
Ties Krishna, okay.
Yeah.
That's very nice. Hare Krishna. So who are the other two who have tied Krishna?
Devotees who bind him with love and devotion.
Very nice. Devotees general, but particularly name of the devotees. Love and devotion, that's very clear. Who's the other one who's like literally holding Krishna?
Arjuna.
Absolutely, Arjuna. That's the thing we are talking about. He's running, and and the way he is running, Krishna, his dress is like fully dust covered, and he's so beautiful. It's like charging of the elephant, and they're also seeing that the whole thing is shaking. The whole floor that is the earth is shaking. And Arjuna also is using equal force and holding him, one hand on his hip and one, and trying with his force to hold Krishna, because he does not want Krishna to give up his vow. So can you see, one side Bhishma wants to prove that Krishna will do anything for devotee. Arjuna wants to prove that it's okay if I die, but you don't give up your vow, right? Unlike us, we'll go and hide. So if such a situation comes, I would probably, given a choice, will be, if I'm very blessed and if I get a chance, I would still be hiding behind Krishna. I would not even come in front, right? So, but look at them, like they are not even worried about themselves, but they just want Krishna there, right? So that's the love of Krishna, and that's the love of the devotees, and it is competitive. Solid competition they have. Nobody can conclude who is better than the other. Is Krishna winning, or is Bhishma winning, or Arjuna winning? It's like a triangular angle which is going on there. And at that moment is when, why we are saying this is the highlight, and this is the point which Bhishma will be meditating on. right? We always say Anta Kalencha Mameva. So Smaran Mukte Kalevram, whatever you think at the last moment. This is not just Krishna, the form of Krishna which you think. And Bhishma is thinking of the Parthasarathi form, right? And he actually merges, which is red, is not into the body, but into the thoughts of that particular form, which is one of the planets in the Vaikuntha, and he also is constant companion of Krishna in this Leela. So it's like clock, right? You have a clock, just to give a material example, you have clock moving, like tuck, tuck, it keeps going on, right? Like that, the pastimes are also going on in different universe. Like, let's say there is a pastime of, Putana in one planet. There is a pastime, after Putana pastime is over, the next pastime comes. And in the next universe, Putana pastime will be there. So like that, there are various pastimes. So if any person, if any of y'all, leave thinking you want to become the, Gopi, you will directly probably go and join the pastime in one of the universes, right? And play the role of Gopi. Likewise, Bhishma, when he is leaving his life, gets merged and he is actively participating in the same pastime of Viryaras. So he will again go, the same Mahabharata is happening in one more planet, and he is actively participating because he wants to see the Parthasarathi form of Krishna, right? That is a two-handed form, of course, and many of us, we also think he wants to meditate on the four-handed form, Narayan, true, but his slokas will reveal that he is very desperate on that form, and therefore he merges into the Parthasarathi form, into that form, he meditates on that, and he is constantly, again, an eternal associate into this. Of course, he is also the Amsa of Vashu, which we will see later, but then the main core is Parthasarathi form, which means he is participating into another universe, into a very, very similar role of Bhishma Dev, and the whole history or Itihas is repeating in multiple universes, one after the other. Yeah, so let's go to Shloka 8 and see how Bhishma Dev, appreciates.
18, no?
Yeah, 17 we finished. No, yeah, 18, Mataji. Krishna has to pick up. Shloka.
Who's reading?
Can I, Mataji?
Yeah, please go ahead. And I also want more of you all to do. Doesn't matter. This is not a shloka competition. This is not singing competition. This is the only time we can take, right? So I am also here taking class, not because I'm acute, not because I'm knowledgeable, but I'm just going with the flow because it's just all of us, right? So if I make a mistake, you all will correct me. It's okay. It's just like a small family. So please make use of this opportunity to go ahead and chant. Yeah, please. Right now you go, but the next sloka I want for someone who's never chanted before.
I will do that. I'm not chanting.
Okay, you can go ahead, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Text 18. Esha vai Bhagavan Sakshat. Adyo Narayana Puman.
Adyo Narayana
Mohayan Mayaya Lokam.
Mohayan Maya Lokam.
Daschariti Vrishnishu.
Buddhascharati Vrishnishu.
So synonyms: Esaha, this, why, positively, Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead, Sakshat, original, Adya, the first, Narayana, the supreme Lord who lies down on the water, Puman, the supreme enjoyer, Mohayam, bewildering, Mayaya, by his self-created energy, Lokam, the planets, Buddha, who is inconceivable, Chariti, moves, Vrishnishu, among the Vrishni family. Translation. This Sri Krishna is no other than the inconceivable original personality of Godhead. He is the first Narayana, the supreme enjoyer. But he is moving amongst the descendants of King Vrishni, just like one of us, and he is bewildering us with his self-created energy. Purport. The Vedic system of acquiring knowledge is the deductive process. The Vedic knowledge is received perfectly by disciplic succession from authorities. Such knowledge is never dogmatic, as ill-conceived by less intelligent persons. The mother is the authority to verify the identity of the father. She is the authority for such confidential knowledge. Therefore, authority is not dogmatic. In the Bhagavad Gita, this truth is confirmed in the second verse of the 4th chapter, and the perfect system of learning is to receive it from authority. The very same system is accepted universally as truth, but only the false arguer speaks against it. For example, modern spacecraft fly in the sky, and when scientists say that because they have they travel to the other side of the moon, men believe these stories blindly because they have accepted the modern scientists as authorities. The authorities speak, and the people in general believe them. But in the case of Vedic truths, they have been taught not to believe. Even if they accept them, they give a different interpretation. Each and every man wants a direct perception of Vedic knowledge, but foolishly they deny it. This means that the misguided man can believe one authority, the scientist, but will reject the authority of the Vedas. The result is that people have degenerated. Here is an authority speaking about Sri Krishna as the original personality of Godhead and the first Narayana. Even such impersonalist as Acharya Shankara has said in the beginning of his commentation on the Bhagavad Gita that Narayana, the personality of Godhead, is beyond the material creation. The universe is one of the material creations, but Narayana is transcendental to such material paraphernalia. Bhishmadeva is one of the 12 Mahajanas who knows the principles of transcendental knowledge. His confirmation of Lord Sri Krishna's being the original personality of Godhead is also corroborated by the impersonalist Shankara. All other acharyas have also confirmed this statement, and thus there is no chance of not accepting Lord Sri Krishna as the original personality of Godhead. Bhishmadeva says that he is the first Narayana. This is also confirmed by Brahmaji in the Bhagavatam 10.14.14. Krishna is the first Narayana. In the spiritual world, Vaikuntha, there are unlimited numbers of Narayanas who are all the same personality of Godhead and are considered to be the plenary expansions of the original personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. The first form of the Lord, Sri Krishna, first expands himself in the form of Baladeva. And Baladeva expands in so many other forms such as Sankarshana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, Vasudeva, Narayana, Purusha, Rama, and Narasimha. All these expansions are one and the same Vishnu Tattva. And Sri Krishna is the original source of all the planetary expansions. He is therefore the direct personality of Godhead. He is the creator of the material world, and he is the predominating deity known as Narayana in all the Vaikuntha planets. Therefore, his movements among human beings are another sort of bewilderment. The Lord therefore says in the Bhagavad Gita that foolish persons consider him to be one of the human beings without knowing the intricacies of his movements. The bewilderment regarding Sri Krishna is due to the action of his twofold internal and external energies upon the third one called marginal energy. The living entities are expansions of his marginal energy, and thus they are sometimes bewildered by the internal energy and sometimes by the external energy. But internal energetic bewilderment, Sri Krishna expands himself into unlimited numbers of Narayanas and exchanges or accepts transcendental loving service from the living entities in the transcendental world. And by his external energetic expansions, he incarnates himself in the material world amongst the men, animal, or demigods to re-establish his forgotten relation with the living entities in different species of life. Great authorities like Bhishma, however, escape his bewilderment by the mercy of the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So very beautiful purport. I think this is one of the best purports I like. So they are talking about, of course, 12 margins we saw. We're also talking about very beautifully about Balram. Balram is the first expansion of Krishna. So from Balram, what are the Chatur, main deities who come out of Balram?
Aniruddha, Pradyumna, Sankarshan.
Perfect. So this
Vasudeva.
is Vasudeva. So first one is first four Chatur expansion we know, second also we know, and we know from the Moola Sankarshana is Narayana, and from Narayana again you have the second Chatur expansion which happens in Vaikuntha. So what we do not we would have not really read is we know Vaikuntha has multiple like states of India, Vaikunta has multiple small mini Vaikuntas where each of them are called Narayana, and hence there are multiple Narayanas. So even Rama, Narasimha, all of them are expansions of Balram. So this is very clearly brought out in this chapter. Now the second point is we have read in the third chapter, right? Eke chamsakala pumsha krishnastu bhagavan swayam indra rivyakulam logam ridhunante yuge yuge. Now I'm just going to again take a detour. So we have understood who wrote Bhagavad.
Vyasadeva.
So basically Vyasa dictated, right? Who wrote physically the Bhagavatam, not the
Lord Ganesha.
Right? So there was a very clear agreement that Ganesha will write only when he understands something. This was the agreement, which we know. So that means Ganesha is writing, and when this shloka had come, right? Did he protest or did he write it? He wrote, right? So he is actually trying to second the fact that Krishna is the absolute personality of Godhead. This is in the, I'm talking about the first canto, third chapter. Now here there's a reference for 10.14.14 Srimad Bhagavatam, right? So he is again talking about who is Narayana. This was also written when I'm telling, physically written by Pulayar, which is Ganesha, after hearing from Vyasa. Right? So it says what Narayanaswam nahi sarvadehinam atma shiyadisha kila loka sakshi Narayana anga narabhujalayana takchapi satyam nata veva maya. Very clearly telling that Narayana is the ultimate controller. He is the soul within and multiple expansion. Lord Narayana is none other than your own expansion who's in the water, right? So he is real. He is not a part of Maya. It's something which he is maintaining. Like na taveva Maya. He is not Maya. He is true. So we see there is a spiritual world. In the spiritual world, we see the supreme controller is Krishna. And from Krishna, we have the first expansion who's Balaram. And most of the time you go to the family and ask, do you pray Balaram? No, we don't pray Balaram at all. So he is the Adi Guru. Balram Dahu is what Krishna himself calls, right? He calls him brother because they say two lords, right? And now coming back to the most favorite question. In the previous Yuga, who was Balram and Krishna? In Treta Yuga.
Ram and Lakshman.
Haribol, very nice. Ram and Lakshman. And in the Kali Yuga, what were they? Or who were they?
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda.
Absolutely. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. Haribol, right? So we have two stalwarts. And in fact, Guru Maharaj, two things. Guru Maharaj used to tell that I like Chennai a lot. Right? Do you know why Guru Maharaj liked Chennai a lot? Little again detour.
He visited Trichy temple.
Sorry, Mataji?
Trichy. He went to Trichy.
No, he went to Trichy, but he likes Chennai. Why?
Chennai, okay.
Why? Because Chennai, Chaitanya, Nei, Nityananda. Can you see that? Chennai, Chaitanya, Nityananda. That is the kind of thinking which constantly goes in the minds of these pure devotees because anything they try and relate. Everything they try and relate to Krishna. Right? So Chennai means stands for Chaitanya, Nei, Nityananda. So he felt, that, and that is one of the things. And also one more thing is, I have been driving the car, Toyota, for so many years, but I've never even noticed. But in some, lecture, Maharaj was mentioning that the symbol over there, right? The Toyota symbol you must be knowing. What do you call it? It's like what do you call it? Eclipse. Yeah. What do you call it in English? Enclave, whatever. So it's like this and it's like this, right? And he says it's like Nityananda and Chaitanya lifting their hands. And I just realized that's the same car I probably have been driving for quite a few years. It's more than half a decade or if not more. Forget about then, but even now after coming to Krishna conscience, I never even saw that in that, in that mind even once. Now after they told, now I go and see, and that also not regularly. When I see, I say, once in a way. So what I'm trying to tell you is we have to constantly work towards getting sadhana. In sadhana stage, it is said that Vipra Lamba Bhava, separation is like we not doing the sadhana. If we do not do any sadhana, right? It could be chanting, it could be reading, it could be not. That is the bhava. So if we miss the sadhana, it means that we are in Vipra Lamba Bhava with Krishna. We cannot say that, okay, I'm in Vipralamba Baba, I'm not going to temple, I'm not doing anything, I'm mourning. It doesn't work like that because we are at a very initial stage. Please forgive me if any exalted devotee is here, but I'm assuming if anybody is listening to my lecture, we're all probably in the same boat. So I'm taking that benefit and moving ahead. So where are we? What's the time? Are we running out of time? Do you have any doubts till now? Is there anything specific you would like to clarify? The shloka is big, so am I missed out anything? And we follow the disciplining succession. Dogmatic means you have to follow because I'm telling. It's not like that. For us, there is validity, there is proof. We follow the acharyas. And what is very stupid is the current generation, they call themselves intelligent and they say that I trust one scientist who says this. I have no idea why and how, because the scientists have what's called the principles, which keep changing, right? Galileo told Earth is round and he was hungry. Somebody told, I don't know, that Earth is flat. And today they are telling Earth is oval. So I'm very confused, to be very honest, whether Earth is round or oval or square ultimately, right? So you may tell, no, Mataji, I know. But ultimately we are also going by hearsay. But the current generation students believe in the hearsay of one scientist or two scientists, but they are less intelligent because are they not believing the intelligence of so many acharyas who are more than scientists? We have all seen the childbirth, right? And how the child is formed. And 5,000 years back, there was no CT scan. But Bhagavatam, third canto, very beautifully, Kapiladev explains clearly how the various stages and all that is happening. It's very clearly seen. Today, probably what, CT scan is 50 years? Dr. Prakash Prabhu can tell. How old Prabhu is CT scan? Okay, Prakash Prabhu must have.
Sorry, I'm muted.
No problem.
30 years.
30 years. Okay, thank you, Prabhu. So maximum 30 years, right? So 30 years old, now they are telling, oh yeah, I saw the hand, I saw the leg. But so many years back, 5,000 years back, they have been actually telling exactly which organ develops at which stage, right? So if there is proof to this, this is called axiomatic truth. They also call apaurusha. Apaurusha means man-made. Apaurusha means given by Lord. Why man cannot make Vedas? What are the problems which human have? What are the 4 problems human have?
Illusion. Cheating
Janma,
propensity.
Janma, Mrityu, Jara.
No, that comes in the different thing. Janma, Mrityu, Jara are problems. But cheating propensity, illusion, 2 more.
Propensity, yes.
Cheating propensity in
Imperfect senses.
Imperfect senses. Next. Cheating propensity.
Making mistake, committing
mistake.
Prone to do mistakes. Prone to do mistakes.
Illusion also. Illusion, right? We are in Maya. We see something. I can see what do you mean by mirage? Mirage is nothing but it's a sand, but I have a feeling it is water, right? So I have illusion, imperfect senses, tendency to make mistake, and cheating propensity. Very natural for all of us to have. So these are the 4. So we cannot tell that what I made is perfect because it's like I am blind and I'm trying to teach you because you are also blind. It doesn't work, right? I should have eyes to lead you. So that is why we have to believe in Shastras, which comes in detective. Detective means from top down. They have understood and they are teaching us. That is how we have to learn the Shastras. And that is exactly how Shastras are giving proofs, references, including Shankaracharya reference with a shloka. I think it is in that small book of my Bhagavatam, page 96. So that is how it is taken care. Whereas we believe in one scientist who, according to him, feels that. So many theories have come which has changed. Human being is formed. How can a matter create life? Is there anything which can happen? Can you tell me, is there a person who's flying aeroplane or the aeroplane flies automatic?
Someone has to fly it.
Thank you. Even an automatic is
Mataji,
actually, yes.
One minute, Mataji. Nowadays, all aeroplanes are almost automatic.
I was waiting for this answer. I have gone through this because my daughter also is planning to do aerospace and she wants to fly. Yes, automatic. But is there not a person behind that automatic? That's all I'm trying to tell. There is automatically water coming, right? If I put my hand, tap, automatic thing is there. But there is some manual intervention to create that automatic. Yes or no?
Yes.
That's true.
It's Automatic thing has not fallen from the sky. Aeroplane has not fallen from the sky, and you got into it and it's automatically flying, right? Unless it's Pushpa Vimanam, which you can try, Prabhu, after you go to Vaikunta and Goluka. But as of now, in our material world, I think we are all manual, and the automatic is also manually done behind the screens.
No computer works without human being.
Just that the human may be before you or behind you. That's the only difference. What do you mean by automatic? In automatic, the human being is behind you. In the sense, he has designed it and he is sent. Battery operated cars are designed by human and sent. So from matter, tell me one example, and we have doctors also here, anywhere where from matter life has come. Any one example. Yes, from matter only this life has come. Any scientific proof. I'm not even talking about Vedic proofs. Nothing, right? So there is nowhere in the history that, and okay, scientists say in future, forget future, we will talk about future, in future. As of today, there is no history which says life has come from matter, but always matter has come from life. Therefore, there is no way, the theory of automatically we are born, some explosion happened. Explosion does not create, explosion destroys things, right? Whether it's Brahmastra or whether it's an atomic nuclear weapon today, whether it's gross or subtle, they always destroy. That's a point which I wanted to tell. And therefore, coming back to this, we believe in those scientists because we are not even seeing, Pratyaksha Praman. And today, all our college students, youngsters, old current generation claim to be agnostic, claim to be atheist, and say that the scientists are smart. Neither you know the scientists, nor have you seen what the scientists are doing. So we have multiple Narayana planets where we have Krishna's presence, and we also have his internal energy, which are the opulence, 6 opulence. Okay, today I read and I remember the number. It is 10th chapter, 39th, 10th canto, 39th chapter, 55th shloka. Beautifully has explained this particular shloka. And if I can take, is it okay if I just take a detour one moment? Because I just loved not the shloka, but that single verse has so much about it. And invariably, I just read that shloka. Huh? Why it's not coming? Yeah, it's coming.
Mataji, someone else is sharing the screen.
Sorry, I will.
You can share the screen.
I'll share. But just the number, I'm just trying to check. 10th canto, Srimad Bhagavatam. Let me first get that. I'm the co-host, right? So I should...
Yes, Mataji. But you can share the screen.
Yes, Bhava, I'm doing that. First, let me identify if the shloka is the correct shloka. Srimad Bhagavatam, okay. 30. Yes, I'll share. You don't have to stop, I think. So there, very beautifully, they are talking about all these powers of Krishna, where we are talking about internal powers of Krishna. He's also talking about external powers of Krishna, which is Maya. And he's also trying to talk about the power of Krishna, which is beyond both, which is his Pralasha potency, which is his, which we are talking about, the Halaini Shakti, which is... Yeah, Haladini. Thank you, Prabhu. Haladini Shakti, which is Radha Rani. Right? So all of this is so beautifully explained in just one shloka. And if I find it, I will open it. Yes. It's not sharing screen? Okay.
Not yet.
Okay. What are the 6 opulences of Krishna? 6 opulence of Krishna. Very basic.
All strength, all wealth.
Correct.
All beautiful, all strong.
Fame, all beauty.
Very nice. This is
Renunciation.
Correct. So in fact, that is why in the middle of the war, he is able to leave everything and run away. Right? That is renunciation. Otherwise, imagine even for Kamsa, what was his situation with Kamsa, right? When he went to meet Kamsa, he was with his Gopi friends, Gopa friends, Gopi girls. What a luxury. Parents, that is the level of renunciation which Krishna has. And this is a shloka, invariably when I was reading, we have 4 of us who read. So, okay, now before I show, I'm going to stop. Whatever you told 6, can you tell me in Sanskrit? Because I didn't know either. The 6 opulence in Sanskrit.
All wealth, all beauty,
that is
all
English.
wealth.
What in Sanskrit? So that is what the shloka says. Can you see the screen? Yeah. So the last,
Saundaryam.
last
Hare
para.
Krishna Mataji.
Okay.
Saundaryam. Vairagyam.
That is what I was telling, but the exact shloka is here. Shriya Push. Okay,
Hmm.
Shriya, beauty. Pushtya, right, is strength. Gira, knowledge. Kantya, you're talking about, Kantya means, what do you call it? All beauty, right? Kantya. Kirtya, Kirtaniya Sadahari, right? Glories, fame of the Lord, which is being sung. Tushtya is renunciation, right? So all of this is what is taken, right? Shri, Pushti, Gir, Kanti, Kirti, and Tushti. All of them are spoken. And that is the beauty. And Shri is, I'm sorry, Shri is, we know, Shri Shruti Bir, right? Shri is money. So Shri, money, Pushtya is strength, Gira, Hare Krishna, Gira, we are talking about knowledge, Kantya, we are talking again about his beauty, Kirtya is his fame, and Tushtya is renunciation. So all Hare Krishna,
Shri
6.
is beauty, Mataji.
Sorry?
Shri is beauty.
Shri is beauty, but in this particular Shriya, they are talking about wealth. Shruti Shri, right? You're talking about that, but here you can go through the meaning. See, Shriya Pushti Kantya, they're talking about internal potency, which talks about Shri, which is Prabhupada, because I just read today, that's why I'm so confidently telling, potency of wealth, Shri. We also say Shri Devi, na? Shri Devi is Lakshmi. Lakshmi is wealth, na? That is also one more thing. Got it? So this is the first line, right? Which talks about potency. Next is Vidya, Vidya, right? We're talking about knowledge and Maya. These are his external potencies. So internal potency are 6 opulences. External potency, the Avidya and the Maya. And the Saktya is basically, we are referring to the Ladini Shakti, which is Radharani. So that's a very beautiful shloka. So I just thought I'll share it with you all. Hare Krishna. So I'm back. So it's time. So we have 5 minutes. Is there anything else? Otherwise, we can conclude by 12. And we had a nice opportunity to complete 1 shloka of Krishna's. Any other doubts? So I repeat 1 to 4, Bhishma Deva in deathbed, and all of them without GPS, without WhatsApp assembling there. 5 to 11 is Bhishma welcoming guests. And we find so difficult to welcome one guest who comes, and in his situation, he is welcoming. And 12 to 17, he is pacifying Pandavas. And now he's going to establish from 18 to 24 that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. We just inaugurated. And next week, we'll, Prabhu will take over. And is there any doubts you all have?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
The description of various evolutionary living beings are being described in Srimad Bhagavatam so vividly and so perfectly that all the evolution is completely described stage-wise. Like fish, like embryo is starting with a single cell, that is amoeba, and going right up to a human being. This is all apurusheya, spoken by not purush, apurusheya. And it's so perfect that even the modern day scientists, they are wondering how accurately they could do this.
That is our specialty, right? So that is why we call it, we are Paurusha with mistakes, and he is Apaurusha, perfect. And Vedas are considered like mother, right? So nobody questions a mother. I heard it takes like 7 lakh years if you have to analyze who's your father, and in a small sampling. So that's the situation. So we can imagine this is like way too difficult for us to. So that's the story. And everything is, beyond, like Bhima also, there's a small mini story where Bhima was a small child. And I think most of you will know the story, where Pandu was talking to Kunti, and Kunti Maharani was holding the child, and they were sitting on a cliff of a mountain. And as they were talking, somehow the small child slipped and fell. And they both came running, and they were very scared, and they were shocked. Why? Does anyone know why they were shocked? Because the Bhima, that small Motu child, fell down. So what happened?
Stone was broken, child was saved.
Child was saved, but the stone broke. So they were shocked because can you imagine the child falls and the stone breaks? Right? We for fun tell that you broke the floor, and we always do that to make sure that the child does not cry. But this has really happened, like the stone broke and the child was saved. That was the power. So all this comes from Krishna. And this sloka I really enjoyed, so I thought I'll share it with you all. So that's about it. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah anantakoti vaishnava jai Srila Prabhupada jai Namacharya Haridas Thakur jai. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare. Please do not leave. I just need 2 minutes of your time. One is thank you so much for patiently listening to me, and I really enjoyed the session. I think I'm doing a very nice power pack session after a very long time in English.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank
you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mataji. It was good as well for us.
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank you, Mataji. Very nice class.
Thoroughly enjoyed after a very long time. Thank you so much for being very interactive. And
Pranams to you.
We liked it and loved
Thank you very much.
thank you. Thank you so much. The moment I wanted you all to stay is for our August inauguration on the 19th. And just two things. One is June 19th, 18th. June 18th is our Nirjala Ekadasi. So we'll be talking about, that is why I wanted to end with Bhima, because Bhima was telling, right, I cannot stay every Ekadasi. So what should I do? He said, stay once a year. And I think that's on June 18th, to the best of my knowledge. You all can cross-check. So Nirjala, without water. Many people think it's Nirjala, which means only without water, which means they can have everything except water. That's not the point. It means you should not have anything, including water. Now, coming to the main thing, Seva, Prabhu has been telling we have to go in groups. So for Bakthi, Vaibhav, who would like to be the coordinator for the group, for the Seva there? And how many of you all have already paid? Is there any way? First is who would like to coordinate and represent the group? Thank you so much. Ishwari Mataji or Prabhu? Ishwari Mataji?
No, we paid. I raised my hand for paid. We already paid.
No, for paid. No, I know that's nice you're paid. But who would be the leader coordinating? Because Sevas, Prabhu has told that we will go as groups.
Mataji, I am looking after the donation part of it.
Prabhu, I'm aware that you're doing the donation part also. Would you like to do this as well?
If someone else agrees, it would be nice. Otherwise, I'll do it. There is no problem. I have paid up money for the.
Yeah. So is there anybody who would like to take up the ownership or rather leadership and drive this team? We can have a name for the team and take it forward. Right? And all we need to do is we'll be assigned and we will all as a group be put together. I will talk to Prabhu and, get that Google form, and whoever has paid, we'll be like one representative who will take care of the whole thing, and the whole team will go over there and, one particular seva will be given. Let's say, I'm just giving an example. Let's say it's DT flower. So we'll arrange flowers, we will get the DT dressed up, everything related to that will be taken care, right? So typically the dates are 15th to 20th, that's typical date. So is there anybody who would like
Mataji, not only that, I think they have to arrange the accommodation, everything over there.
Exactly. So the entire group, if it will become like easy in terms of one point contact. So if somebody is not well, that one leader will take care. All of that will be taken care by one person. So that is why it's not that one person is going to overburden. I'm sure all of us are there to help each other. But I would just appreciate if there is one person who would lead the group. So much of silence. Okay, first, let me start first. Who are all paid? Please have your hand raised. If for Seva at Bakthi, Vaibhav, and most of us are initiated, if we are hesitant, I'm really worried. Payment is 3,000, which is more like a token, irrespective of how many days you are there. Stay, food, travel is all taken care by Prabhu, and no way it covers it, but he just wants to have that to make sure that we are serious. I can listen. Two hands are up. Other than besides that, okay, two hands up and down. Is there anybody else who would like to take up the leadership? I mean, I'm sure Prakash Prabhu and Ishwari Murari Priya team will do, but then it will be overburdened for him because he's already taking care of donation. And plus he's working, doctor, emergency, ortho, surgery. Prabhu, you're a surgeon, right?
Yes, orthopedic surgeon.
Surgeon. No, ortho I know. Plus he takes Bhagavatam class at 5. So I'm just feeling very embarrassed to ask him. And I know you all will ask, why are you doing? I'm just not capable of doing these things. Plus I'm handling...
Madhuji, put in the group one more time because many people are not here, no? Today.
Yeah, I will...
we can decide later. No?
We'll decide later, but I just thought, if once a leader is decided...
No, nobody is talking, no, that's what I'm telling. Put it in the group, yeah.
Sure, we'll put in the group. So
give them some time to think, no, at least.
Sure. Yeah. Prema, Prakash, Prabhu, for the time being, you'll be there. And Ishwari, Ishwari Mataji and Jagat Prabhu, both of you coordinate for this. We'll put it in the group. Please put it in the group and we'll coordinate and get people, but we have to get going. Otherwise, we will not get place close by. We will get in a place in Udupi to travel because that's a speed at which people are booking. Tamil team is already sent, almost informed Prabhu. Gujarati team has informed Prabhu. So we have not even initiated. My only request is please be active. And Prabhu, Prema Prabhu, Prakash Prabhu, till then keep dropping message in the group.
Sure, Mother.
So that we get, because you become the default leader if nobody is there.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. So
No
with this,
problem.
we'll end.
I can always take the help of Ishwari Mataji and...
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, certainly.
Thank you. We'll all be there, Prabhu. So thank you so much. Hare Krishna. So thank you so much. Dandavat Pranam. And see you all again. Oral, I think I do not have energy for oral. So we'll do it next week when Prabhu is going to do that. If anybody is not available next week and wants to stay and finish the orals, raise your hand. 2-3 people I can handle. We'll do it today. If anyone wants to do orals, like you've already done 1-2, you want to finish, you can have. Otherwise, I'll end the session. So see you next week. Thank you so much.
Next time, Mother.
Sure, thank you.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you so much.
So all of you, one time before you leave, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, everybody. Please end the